Hi, and welcome to day 7 of a week of wonder. I'm wearing blue today, feeling incredibly grateful that you're still here. Well done for sticking with it. It's hard to do in our day and age. Today we're going to close this loop. I want to bring you back to the original intentions so you can reflect on whether some of them manifested for you, whether this is a journey that you want to continue, whether you want to turn this spark into a fire. I hope there was a spark for you. I feel like I've said this often, but the intention is to open a door that you won't want to close ever again, that you're curious to see what else is behind that door, that this is just the beginning. Remember that my intentions were to stir more aliveness in you, and also to reconnect to the part of you that is in a state of wonder, maybe your childlike sense of possibility, to give you a new lens through which to perceive the world, and to increase that relationality with the world around you, to give you a sense of reciprocity that will change something for you. A lot of intentions, and I hope that you got to feel into some of them. Today we're going to talk about integration. It's a part of the change process that most people forget. And it's a shame, because if there's no proper integration after you've had your epiphany or your experiment or your experience, then nothing really changes. You could have an amazing insight and then go back to your normal life and not change a thing. So we're going to look at what can we put in place so this spark doesn't go out. I'm very excited about it. But first, talk to me about your art. What was it like to create something? I want to show you. This is something I made. I didn't make it yesterday, but it started from that idea, and I'm going to get my one-line drawing from yesterday. This I did on the video, Doesn't look like much, but this can turn into this in 30 minutes. And that could also not look like much to you, but it was very fun to me. And what it does when you start creating something, and this is why I brought that practice and that invitation to wonder, is when you start creating something, a different part of your brain starts lighting up. It is not the part of the brain we usually rely on. And remember how I spoke to you about the different windows of knowing, and how typically in our current culture we rely a lot on our rational mind. And that's great, so cool that we're smart and we can think on our feet. And there's all these other windows of knowing that we actually need if we want to live a creative, beautiful, rich life, if we want to create new things. And one of them is imagination. And having a consistent creative practice, being someone that creates things, even out of day-to-day profane things, like food, like leaving notes for people, that will spark your imagination. It will open a door for you. A good friend of mine reminded me yesterday. I turned to her and said, I'm really tired. I have a lot on my plate. This was a voice note. And I really want you to tell me that it's okay to take time off. She's an expert at this. And she said, remember that when you do something that you love and you take time off, you usually need less time than you think, because your mind trips and says, oh, but if you rest, then you won't be productive, and here's all these things on your to-do list. But if you fully surrender to it and give yourself 30 minutes or an hour, then usually that's enough. That's one thing. And the second thing she said, and remember that when you do something like make art or do something that doesn't feel productive, that you open to that new window of knowing. And you save so much time, because typically that's where the dots connect. So I also would like to invite you to be curious about what are the things that are wonder bringers to you that create congruent conditions for you to be more imaginative or for you to receive inspiration. Now that may be a new question for you, but it's different for all of us. So for example, if I want to open myself to epiphany, and epiphany is that moment where inspiration hits you and you simply get that strike of clarity. You know, it's like, oh my God, now I know what to do. It never comes to me when I'm sitting in front of my computer for 4 hours. Inspiration does not find me in that place. No. To me, it comes on wonder walks. It comes when I'm having a bath with all of the senses open. So candles, smells. It comes to me sometimes in the shower. It comes to me when I'm creating something. So when I'm cooking a meal, for example, and it takes hours and it's this slow process, that's where epiphany comes. That's where my imagination opens. So my question for you is, where are you most imaginative? Where does inspiration find you? And how can you do more of it? This is one of your integration questions. So put a pin in it. I'm also going to pick a winner. Let me do that now, and then we'll move on. We've got 2 bowl with names. 2 people, thank you so much for sharing your adventures and your art and your wonder walks. I know that for some of you it feels like such a personal share, so like you're revealing a part of yourself that maybe you haven't before, but for me it's been so beautiful to be in relationship with some of you who are strangers and to see how you've used this week as a springboard to be in relationship with the world around you, and I'm so grateful. So 2 of you are going to win $300, and I'll send you a message too, and one of them is Wendy Colville. You win $300. Yay, congrats. And Susanna Thiessen. So 2 people, Susanna Thiessen and Wendy Colville, you'll get a message from me, and you can use those $300 for retreats, trainings, joining the Wonder Lab. So got that over and done with. Before we continue, I want to make one more point about imagination, and it's this. Imagination creates your reality almost entirely. So if you spend a lot of time thinking about all the things that could possibly go wrong in the future, you will compound negative feelings in your body. And your box closes. So you don't see what's possible. It's hard to cultivate wonder from that place. But if you proactively, intentionally pay attention to what is beautiful, if you intentionally create things and you cultivate that realm of imagination from a place of possibility, which automatically will happen through these practices, then you compound positive feelings in the body. And it's a lot easier to imagine a future of possibility from that place. And that is doing the opposite, so it opens. Remember how I said in the beginning, you can either spiral down or you can spiral up. And what we're doing here is spiraling up. We're creating a higher relationality to the world around us, to our imagination, and therefore it becomes easier to imagine possibility in the future, and therefore we compound positive feelings in the body. Really powerful tool. And so even it could feel to you, I'm just saying this because I used to be this person, it could feel to you like 30 minutes of creating something silly like this is a waste of your time or not productive. But I would love for you to flip that, flip the script, and create a new thought and a new belief around creative practice, around cultivating wonder. That it's not something that takes time, but it's something that creates time. It's something that gives you sacred time and therefore gives you more energy, more possibility, more imagination. When I work with groups, I often say we create a pause that speeds us up, because we put people in that state of timeless space, kairos time, and then everything collapses. In the future and the present and the past, they meet and they're in that imaginal realm of possibility. And suddenly, instead of seeing things through that lens of resignation or we can't possibly do that, they open up and they see the possibility. And it may seem like a long time for a company, for example, to have a whole day or a whole afternoon. But those people come out of that space and everything is different the next day. And it speeds up their progress exponentially. And I want that for you as well. Of course, my longing for you is that this courtship with the world doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. It's a springboard. I hope that you have sparked something and it's a fire you want to keep tending to. And you've opened the door and you want to see what's behind it. So I have 2 invitations for you. The first one is join us in the Wondr Lab. It's an online global community of women who are curious, who want to live in possibility, who are creators and manifestors and pioneers, who are curious about their belonging and their becoming. It's all about relationship to self, to others, and to the world around you, and increasing your relationality, and then witnessing what sparks from there. And the way it works is this. Once a month, we have a masterclass with a theme, and the theme carries through for the rest of the month. We've explored things like epiphany and how to create more congruent circumstances to be open to inspiration. What is it for you? We've explored soma and having a deeper connection to the body. We've explored meeting the muse, being more creative, what that looks like for you, and why you need to have a relationship with your inner muse, and how that becomes a unique expression of soul. Next month, the whole month, is going to be around how can we stay in this realm of possibility. It's called the realm. What happens if we create all of the circumstances for ourselves to spiral up, to be in deep relationship with the world around us and with the people in this community? What is the magic that can be stirred up when we do that, and how do we do it? So that this becomes our place of residence most of the time. Not by doing more, but by having a different state of being. So it's a continuation of what we did this week, and then to create a commitment of staying in that place and seeing what wants to be born from there. So that's the theme for next month. So like I said, the Wondr Lab is $29 a month. We have a theme and then we meet in circle. So you get to meet women from all over the world. It's truly magical. And there is practices to go with each theme. They can be things like imaginative journeys. They can be things like art practices. Every month there's a writing practice. It's really endless. And when you join now, you have access to all of the previous master classes and all of the previous practices, and you can start straight away. So you can either join for $29 a month and then cancel anytime, or you can pay $299 and then have access for a whole year. So that's something really epic I would love to invite you into. Secondly, I run retreats, and they're my greatest joy. I'm so proud of them because they change lives. And I have been running retreats with a rites of passage framework for the last 7 years, and they are so wonderful. So I run a retreat called Wild Wonder 4 times a year in Australia. And the women that come often tell me that that was the moment that everything changed for them, because we do create that Kairos container that you can be in for a weekend, and we totally wrap you in wonder to the point where you can't believe it. And we create relationality with yourself, with others, and the world around you, so that, again, something is sparked. These retreats are super special. So have a look at the calendar and see when the next one is, and hopefully you can join us. I also am running this retreat in Belgium for the first time, and I cannot wait. I am so excited about it. It's in August. The one in Australia, there's one in September and one in November. They're always seasonal because it's about relationality with the world. So I designed them to suit the season so that you can drink the fruits of that season, to remember who you are, to have free expression in the world, to create from the heart, and to feel so alive. And I think that's what happens to women when they come. They just remember who they are, and their aliveness is sparked. And they typically look different on Sunday than they do on Friday. It's so unique. It's hard to put in words what happens on these weekends, but it's so incredibly powerful. So I highly recommend joining us for one of those retreats. And after having said that, I'm going to give you my invitation for today. And my invitation is one of integration. And you're going to create a small ritual for yourself. And what's cool about ritual, it is one of the only man-made practices that induces Kairos time. I'm big into ritual, so all of my retreats will have ritual elements in it and ritual theater in it, because it is so powerful in creating that timeless moment. And remember how I said to you at some point, I think it was day 5, where you consulted the oracle, that cultivating wonder is also creating a relationship with the mystery and being in conversation, like a phone call to God almost. And that you have the possibility to do that every day. And it's wild if that's not a window of knowing that's been open to you, or you have explored much, but it's there and it's always available. And so ritual is a way to create that connection with the mystery and to have that container of sacred time where you can say a prayer or ask for something or get back in alignment with yourself or to heal something. So there's all these different intentions for ritual. But we're going to craft a ritual of integration. So your intention for this ritual is that you commit to something, that you think about, if I want to keep this door open, what does it require? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your journal or pen and paper, and you're going to choose either a sunset or a sunrise. And remember, those happen even in the darkest places. So even if you live in the middle of the city, find a place where you can see some of the sunset or some of the sunrise. So you're going to go on a wonder date with yourself. And remember, you can compound all these things now. Take something new, go to a new place, make art with what you find, etc., etc. So you're going to watch a sunrise or sunset. I'm going to ask you a question, and your answer is going to be either 1 or 2. And based on that, you're going to make a choice. So my question is, in order for you to keep this door open, to tend to this fire, do you need, option 1, to let go of something? Do you need to stop doing something so that there's more space, so you're letting go? Or do you need to introduce something? Is it more about creating something new? And what the first thing that came up for you, that's your thing. So if you are in need to let go of something, then you're going to go watch a sunset. And if you want to call something new in or create a new behavior, you're going to choose a sunrise. And as you go on this wonder adventure, you take your pen and paper and you write a commitment to yourself. And you do that in relationship with the sun. So you say, my name is, and I commit to letting go of this one thing or starting this one thing. And so, for example, say if I was to call in more creativity, I would say, my name is Neela, and I commit to 30 minutes of creative time every day. I commit to more sacred time in my day. If you were to let go of something, you could say, I am letting go of all of the things I think I should do, but I actually don't. And then you make a list of what all of those things are. And you make a commitment. And you write that down. And I would highly recommend that you write those things down on maybe a piece of parchment. Make art with it. Like you're creating a vow for yourself. This is what a ritual is. You make a commitment. Remember, when you get married, you make a commitment to each other. In a ritual, you make a commitment to God, the universe. It's a relationship with the mystery. You write it down, make a piece of art with it, write it on a piece of parchment. I've got a commitment here I made a few weeks ago on retreat and dipped it in honey. There's many different ways that you can anchor in that ritual. A way to let go of something, for example, is to put it in the fire. So you can write your commitment, make a piece of art with it and give it to the fire. Or if you want to call something in, you can put it in honey. Or you can send it down the river. Or you can plant it with a seed into the earth. So you're going to create a ritual of commitment that will integrate some of this practice into your life so this door does not close. That is my invitation for today. Oh my God, this has been so delightful. Thank you so much for trusting me, for being here. Please don't be a stranger. Please stick around. Join us in the Wonder Lab. Join me on retreat. This is just a beginning if you want it to be. Next month in the Wonder Lab is going to be so epic. See it as a mid-year manifesto where you get back in alignment with yourself, what you stand for, and commit to living in that realm of possibility and to spiral up and to keep this baseline of wonder as something that is a reality in your life. Please stay in touch. Thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. My heart is so full. I'm also a little bit tired, but I can't wait to see you soon.